Well, it's been nearly a year since 18 people were massacred in Gobazana village in Lusikisiki, a case that shocked the country and is still before the courts. Just next door in Unity Park village, another tragedy has unfolded. As the country marks Women's Month, a man is now accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend and then going home and shooting his wife while she slept beside her grandchildren. He remains on the run. This latest act of violence has yet again highlighted deep-rooted issues of gun violence in rural communities in Lusikisiki. Newzroom Afrika's Sipha Kema joins us live in the Eastern Cape. The details around the story are harrowing, Sipha. Is this a scourge in some ways that is particular to the Eastern Cape?
Well, you could say also the rural communities, Michelle. I mean, we've seen an alarming spike in gun violence in these parts of the province, more especially, as you said, in the rural communities like Lusikisiki. As you've mentioned, just last year, the 18 people that were massacred. And I mean, the previous year, 3 people from that same family, from the Sinina family, who were also gunned down in a gruesome manner. So gun violence has been on the rise. I mean, if we also look at the crime stats that have been released when it comes to issues of gun violence and illegal firearms, this side of the province, which is mostly known as the former Transkei, looking at the OR Tambo district, areas that are actually affected by violence, more especially gun violence, illegal firearms as well. I mean, when we've spoken to community members, they were telling us that it's become a norm to hear guns going off in the middle of the night. And unfortunately for the Vokleka family, when they heard that gun go off last night, their 22-year-old daughter was then tragically murdered, allegedly at the hands of a boyfriend. Now, we're going to bring in to talk more about this issue of gun violence, Michelle. We're going to speak to the Ward 9 Councillor, Mr. Mhlongo. Mr. Mhlongo, thank you so much for uthetha nathi ku Newzroom Afrika namhlanje tata. Ibhlungu lento yehlele elikhaya kodwa ingathi into ihlala isenzeka kwelicala laselusikisiki iwese apha kungobozana.
Enkosi apha engobozana into ehlala isenzeka into ubana kukhale izibhamu ii-communities zalapha zisoloko zikhala into ubana azikho safe ngalento yokubana kusoloko kukhala izibhamu izibhamu ezisebantwini ezingekho mthethweni ziyasibetha kakhulu kuba baendapha abantu besenza izinto abangakwazi ukuzicinga zezandleni ezirongo izibhamu. Sitsho ke silapha kwelikhaya lakwaVoxeka singurhulumente wasekuhlaleni ward councillor wale ndawo sizonikeza isupport kule family kuba le family lena iyasokola iqhubekile nakulento yenzekileyo yiyo lento sizonikeza isupport kuyo besitsho ke nabo bayibothusile lento bebengayilindelanga singurhulumente ke sithi ii-taverns noko mazizame indlela yokubana zivale kwangoko ngo-10 o'clock so that bakwazi abantu besezithaveni ukuphinda bagoduke kuba xa ngaba kuhlala kwithaveni kudeske kube late up until 1 o'clock no 2 o'clock kuba iproblem kuba le incident yenzeke ngalo maxesha lawo abantu belele. Sithi ke singurhulumente walapha ekuhlaleni siyazenza inzame ze campaigns siyazenza inzame ze workshops against crime zenziwe ne marches zenzelwa women against crime but into yenzakalayo akuncedakali kufuneka nje i-law enforcement engapha yakwamandla especially kulento ine taverns.
Right, that's Mr. Mhlongo, of course, the ward councillor, Michelle, telling us the issues of illegal firearms and gun violence in these areas. Now, we're talking about being in Ngobozana. It's also under Ngobozana, but in Lusikisiki. And I'm telling you, as I'm talking to you, the incident of 18 people massacred is literally just less than a kilometer from where I am currently standing. Now, the reason he's talking about the taverns and mentioning issues of closure time is because this incident occurred inside the tavern at about just after 1 a.m. where a 42-year-old man gruesomely shot his 22-year-old pregnant girlfriend after she ran from him, allegedly, as told by the witnesses who were there, after he allegedly refused to be left in that relationship. Then he went and fetched his firearm and then allegedly shot at the 22-year-old young lady. That has now left this family reeling, as they were not expecting or any kind of incident such as this one. Now, they don't know what they're going to do as regards to the burial arrangements. But also, that's not the only thing that happened, Michelle. As you said, that this is a harrowing, the story around this tragedy is quite, shocking, where the 42-year-old man then was said to have left the area of Unity Park, of Ngobozana, and moved to Unity Park, which is just next door to where we are, a neighboring village, to his home where his wife was sleeping with his children as well as the grandchildren. That's when witnesses say he then pulled out the firearm and shot at his sleeping wife while she was in the bed. And then, according to the police reports, that the statement that we received from the SAPS is that he then took one of the vehicles that's owned by the wife and drove off. But then he ran out of fuel in a nearby gravel road. But since then, he's been on the run, and the police are desperately looking for him and requesting any community members or anyone that might come across the suspect then to report him to the police.
And have police released a photograph, Sipha? And should we say that this is someone who is obviously armed and potentially dangerous?
Absolutely, Michelle, but the police haven't yet released a photograph or even the identity, just that he's a 42-year-old man. So with the statement that they had issued and given us, asking the communities to then reach out, I'm guessing they are appealing to those that might know him, as it is believed that he's still in the nearby area and the locality of Lusikisiki, Ngobozana as well. But in time, they will then reveal his identity, but also a photograph to help search. But he is armed. They can confirm that he is armed, as the firearm that he had in him, he's still carrying it with him. And according to family members that had tried to call him to persuade him to return and answer the questions that are needed by the police, he had informed the family that he still had bullets left and he still has the gun on him. But he's left the car, which was then found by the tracking service. So this highlights the issue of gun violence, Michelle, in these rural communities, more especially in this part of the province. We will later on now speak to another community activist on another separate incident to highlight the issues faced by these communities living in fear.
It's such a sad irony that this is just meters away from the Lusikisiki massacre scene from last year that left 18 people dead. Kema is live to us on that story.